going on, people? It's your boy Trey Sense, and we got a little bit of a discussion here, a little bit of a review. You know how we do it here on the channel. Welcome back to the channel where all the cool people hang out. Couple of things real quick. Please continue to tap in. Let me know where you're watching the video from. Super cool. And thank you for being the best part of this channel. So what we got here today, we're going to talk about some fragrances from my collection. 4 fragrances that have gone up in price tremendously. All 4 of these fragrances are from the same house. The reason that these fragrances have gone up in price is because they've been discontinued. So what we're going to do here today is give you an opportunity to purchase these fragrances from myself. I don't wear them. You can look at it as decluttering, thinning out the collection or whatever. The house is Zegna, or Zegna, however you pronounce it. Zegna, tomato, whichever. All of these fragrances are really good. They smell good. None of them are the reinvention of the wheel, so we don't have a Gucci Per Home 2 here and people are going to be clamoring to pick up, which nobody even bothered to buy my Gucci Per Home 2. But anyway, I like to give my subs or people that frequent my channel an opportunity to buy these discontinued fragrances before I put them on Mercari, because that's exactly what I'll do. When I get ready, if they don't sell here, I'll go to Mercari. Ways you'll be able to contact me is through my email. I'll leave it in the description box below. You'll also be able to find me on Facebook or Insta or TikTok, whichever way you see me. So the first one I want to talk to you about is one that I don't have a lot of familiarity with, and you don't ever hear anything about it. I don't even know when it was discontinued, but again, from the house of Zegna, it is Colonia. Now this one may be the best out of the bunch. Think of a creamy, less spicy version of Old Spice with this fragrance is what you get. You get some cream, a really creamy, smooth, sexy fragrance with some spice, but it's not overly spicy, but just really good, masculine and creamy. And I like it. I like it a lot. I picked this up from a gentleman that I buy fragrances from time to time. We've been doing this, I don't know, I guess 6, 7, 8 years now. Sometimes I'll text him and be like, hey bro, you got anything you wanna sell? And he'll be like, no, not at the moment. Or he'll text me like, hey, this Trey? And I'm like, yeah. Hey, I wanna sell, I got a box I wanna sell. The last 2 fragrances that I bought from him, I'll just tell you, Versace Dylan Blue and Givenchy Gentleman, 100 ml bottles, and I gave him 30 bucks a piece for them. So I already had them in my collection. One of them I still have. The Dylan Blue sold rather quickly, but it is what it is. And I purchased this out of a box of fragrances that I got from him. Everything in the box was discontinued. And I think one of them was American Eagle Real. And another one I think may have been something from Tim McGraw or something that was discontinued. They went quick. But talking about this one now. And again, evidently, I don't know if Zegna is no longer making fragrances or these are just fragrances from the house that have been discontinued. But this is one I've never seen anywhere on a bargain bin or a website or anywhere. So from the house of Zegna, it is Colonia. And Zegna is an Italian-based company, and I know they do a lot of fashion. I actually have a Zegna bag that I was given from my girls over at Dillard's when I made a purchase over there. So they'll always be like, hey, go get in my bag. And I love the bags because I use them to travel with. As a matter of fact, I got a Zegna, I got a Mont Blanc. I got one more that they gave me. I can't remember what the other one is. But I know I have a Zegna and I know I have a Mont Blanc. I can't remember what the other one is. It ain't Tom Ford or anything like that, but it's a nice bag. This next one is probably the most popular out of the 4 fragrances. Again, from the house of Zegna, it is Uomo. This one was best known for its melon note. And you pick up that melon in the opening and in the dry down. Very nice melon citrus. A little bit of a violet leaf note, but it smells really good. And this one at one time, all the reviewers were clamoring about. And this was a fragrance at one time that you could pick up in the bargain bin at Marshall's, TJ Maxx, Ross. As a matter of fact, I got mine from Marshall's. I had a smaller bottle, used quite a bit of it, and then either traded it, sold it, or gave it away. More than likely, I gave it away when I came across this 100 ml, because again, at one time you were picking them up for $9 and $10. $9 and $10, you were picking them up in the bargain bin. That's the crazy part about it, about shopping at Ross, TJ Maxx, Marshall's, etc., etc. Especially, I'll call it the golden era of fragrance and fragrance hunting. Not so much nowadays because they've got everything in the case. So I mean, it's just different. But yeah, I think I paid $9 or $10 for this fragrance. They would be red stickered, and they would be rows of them. So I wasn't the only one that got them. There'd be 5 or 6 of them in a row, red stickered, and a yellow. I think it would start out with the yellow sticker, and by the time it got to the red, it was bottom dollar. So now you may find them with no cap, no box, you know, just different things, but you were able to find them, and I found this one. So for those who want an opportunity to add a classic fragrance back to their collection, here you go. For those that don't, I get it. But this one, smooth melon with a nice kiss of violet leaf in it. Nice fragrance. This one was also popular from the house of Zegna. It is Z, or Zegna is Z. Now this one, funny story about this one, I wore this to a Mexican restaurant one night, and the waiter just kept bugging me about what I had on. And I told him, and then I also told him, bro, I got it in the car if you want it. Because at the time I was picking them up $10, $15. Again, TJ Maxx, Ross, places like that, Marshall's had them in the bargain bin. And you can pick them up. And it's Z for Zegna, or Z Zegna. And this one is a nice woody citrus. Oh, that smells good. And he just kept asking me, what are you wearing? What are you wearing? And you just have to know this waiter. He's funny, but he's a little bit pesky. But he's funny. But he ended up buying the fragrance from me. I pulled it up on, I want to say Fragrance Net, and said, okay, this is what it's going for. This is what I'll sell it to you for. So he was like, okay. So he reached off in his pocket, gave me the money. I went out to the car and got it and gave it to him. And then the next time I went fragrance hunting, there it was. So I picked it up and added it back to my collection because it's a good fragrance. And you see, it has quite a bit of a dent in it. So I wore it several times. Notice all of them have a dent in it. You know, so these are good fragrances. They're very gentlemanly. They do sit a little bit closer to the skin. None of these are loud, obnoxious fragrances. I just don't think Zegna makes fragrances like that. I think they make theirs to be classy and gentlemanly. And, you know, what would you expect from an Italian design company, right? You'd expect everything to be along those lines. But this was a very popular one as well. I will say these were probably the 2 most popular, but they have really skyrocketed in price. So I'm telling you this, so if you have them in your collection and you deal with places like eBay or Mercari, you may want to post them and try to sell them. If you've had them in your collection and you're like, man, I'd like to pick those up again and can't find them, well, here you go. Here's your opportunity to buy them and add them back to your collection. Prices will be fair, but they're not going to be, you know, $10, $15 fragrances anymore. They're not, that's just not what they're going to be. Last but not least, from the house of Zegna, we have Intenso. And this one draws comparisons to Armani Code, and for good reason. It's smooth, sweet, and powdery, just like Armani Code. Is it an exact clone of Armani Code? No. I think the reason that this one got the little bit of a buzz that it did, I'll say again, because it draws comparisons to Armani Code. And it was way cheaper than Armani Code at the time. Because I think I picked this up for $10 or $15. And this is the 50 mil, the only 50 mil on here. And I was seeing them at Burlington, where I got this one. And then just all of a sudden, they disappeared. Wasn't seeing them no more. And come to find out, it's also discontinued and has skyrocketed in price again. My goal with these videos is to sell you a fragrance that is good. Yeah, that does smell a lot like Armani Code. To sell you a fragrance that's A, good, comes from a reputable source, and you know my fragrances have been stored properly and taken care of. What I mean by that is, you could go buy something from someone that they have had sitting in the glove box of their car for a year. And if you live in Alabama, that's no bueno. That's not good. Or Georgia or South Carolina or any place where it's hot, that's not going to be a good vibe. Not a good vibe at all. So, because how a fragrance is stored does help the longevity. If it's stored in a nice, dark, damp place, away from heat, constant temperature of room temperature, which is where it should be, warm in the winter, cool in the summer, that way it's no fluctuation, then, you know, that helps the longevity of a fragrance. You don't want to put it in places like your glove box. You don't want to put it in places like your bathroom. Why? Temperatures fluctuate in your bathroom. They fluctuate, and that's not good for a fragrance. So, you know, all mine have been stored properly, away from the sun, away from fluctuating temperatures. So, but that's it, guys. That's all I got for you today. And again, if this video is not for you, hey, I understand. You know, let's not be ignorant in the comment section, because that's all it's gonna do is get you blocked. And my subs don't play that about their boy either. So all it's gonna get you is blocked and jumped on. So let's be men. That's the best word. Let's be men. So, but if you want an opportunity to get any of these fragrances, I will sell the bundle. I'll sell them all four in a bundle. Of course, that's where you'll get your best price. Or I'll sell them individually. My prices always include shipping, so there's not a lot of room for movement, because you have to understand I have to pay for packaging, I have to buy the stuff to package, then I have to ship it. So, and then I have to put the time in it that it takes, because that's essentially what I'm charging you for, is my time and the merchandise as well. So, but anyway, with that being said, guys, I'm gonna get off of here. Hope everybody has a beautiful Sunday. It's that time of the year where it's not really a whole lot on TV, no football. I guess if you just love basketball, it's available, but I don't really get into basketball the playoff time. So, but anyway, with that being said, I love you all, and may God bless you all. I hope you all have a beautiful, beautiful Sunday. Take care of yourself, and thank you for being the best part of my channel, and we'll catch you next time. Peace.